Your subjects are looking forward to your visit. Got some loot. I've already got multiple plasteel extractors. I think I'll save that extractor. Oh, wait, hold on a second. What is this? Worlds with extreme environments produce the finest Astra Militarum regiments, or so I've heard. I am merely repeating what some guards happen to know, have whispered into my credulous ears. Okay, do you remember how Thief's Spear doesn't feel like it belongs on Thief? It's because on Assassin the class was based on chaining of... Okay, first of all, no, I don't remember that. It's because of Assassin the class was based on chaining of skills. Thief initially took half the class identity of Guild Wars 1 Assassin, but not the chaining. Spear kind of covers the other half without having skills to resonate with the weapon. Loaded skills were combo skills that you can use back-to-back endlessly if conditions are met, no cooldowns. Oh god, what?
All hail Fluty Girl, who runs this dictatorship. With a ball of
do
yarn
you?
in one hand and a banhammer in the other. Mukluk ban mukluk nom flutig yarn mukluk dancin.
Thank you, Flute Girl. Appreciate your continued support and rift breaking. If that knife is thieves, then what's the card thingy? That is a very good question. Maybe it's a tarot card. Maybe it's some folks have guessed Arcanist Elementalist. Not sure if true, but possible, sure. I feel like I'm supposed to take Abelard with me coming down here, but for now, let's take these folks. Engineer, Trapmaster mode. My guess is cards are LA. If this dagger is thief, then the cards are the mesmer and the bards are necromancers with heavy metal. No, death metal. Come on. Come on. It's too easy. Oh, that's right. We're gonna meet the Sniper Eldari lady. A lavishly dressed noblewoman in an opulent silk gown watches you with an expectant air, but then gracefully bows her head. Gem-encrusted implants protrude from her arms and neck. I welcome you on behalf of the noble house of Viant Ab Aram. My name is Vistenza Janus Viant Ab Aram Af Coronas. By the grace of the Emperor and the will of the rogue trainer Theodora von Valancius, I serve as planetary governor and imperial commander-in-chief of this world. Vistenza Viant raises her head slightly. In truth, your arrival in the place of the esteemed Lady von Valancius is quite unexpected. Theodora von Valancius is dead. I am now the head of the dynasty. Such tragic news. I will see to it that the planet observes a month of mourning.
Janus!
Ah, quick, everyone shoot everything!
Spectacle of your demise.
You've been ambushed. The battle begins.
I'm not accustomed to being ordered around. Isn't this a job for the serfs?
Let's see.
All right, everyone has regeneration.
Battlefields are always drowned in scarlet. I am a navigator.
Curse on that
not
guy.
a servitor.
I'll do what it takes. I can't stand it.
Stop hitting me!
As the tenets demand, the other side awaits. The shadows will see my death. Yours or mine.
Alright, she has chewed through quite a few of them.
I can handle it.
A wicked
Taunt
thought.
those two. Dog on standby.
What if?
I won't object to it. Let's see to it.
Buff everyone's arms.
But of course, Lord Captain.
Slurp.
Abide in the hope of blessed creations of the Omnissiah.
Oh, snap, there's more.
Tech Familiar activated.
Let's make it quick.
I feel nothing. Fear nothing.
Here we go.
A lot of dudes coming through that wall. Let's see.
Commands are
Medicaid
more
signal.
pleasant to give than to follow. I can do that with the right incentive.
Give Cassie another turn. Cassia, during your extra turn, you give Pascal an
Paint
extra
your
turn.
death in colors.
Let's see.
Me.
Or curse on that
If
guy.
you insist, Lord Captain.
My vow is to serve. Ability analysis successful.
That guy is thick.
Time to slop. Show me what you've got.
Let's get to it.
Dog does 20.
I'm not accustomed to being
Give him
ordered
another
around.
turn.
Setting
Verb.
target parameters for Tech Familiar units. Abide in the host of blessed creations of the Omnissiah.
Another foe
Zap.
painted black. If only that were possible. Do not dare ask. If I may?
High momentum.
Trust me.
Actually, let's use Death Waltz.
The undying Emperor whispers his will. Ah! Caught by the web. Ah! I shall not fail. Death is a blessing. As the come, the other side awaits. My blade whispers your name. Killing brings me no pleasure.
Alright, so she took out 3 of them.
The Omnissiah condemns.
Another one died from dots.
A wicked thought.
Alright, taunt that guy.
Let's see.
I won't object to it. Naturally.
Okay.
Setting
Bird.
target parameters protect familiar units. Abide in the host of blessed vital functions successfully.
I cast gun.
Request denied.
Let's see. Weight of Dumb Revenants already used Shiro Tagachi. I thought the legendary assassin stance. I thought you were making a deadpan joke on it to make it funnier. Their Paragon Warrior already has. Look at the key art Warrior and Paragon gear. Yeah. Yeah, Warrior Paragon is like 99%. I'd be blown away if it's something different at this point.
Isn't this a job for the serf?
High momentum.
Emperor, give me strength. Me? If you insist, Lord Captain.
I am your
Run all the way
blade
over
and
there.
Shield. Trust me. Caught by the web. The shadows will see it done.
Schemes within schemes.
Let's see. Apprehend.
A wicked lord. Let's see.
Apprehend. There we go. Dog finished everything off. Your lordship, Emperor preserve us, are you alright? Do not fret, layperson. We have grown used to outrageous slovenliness among the wardens of every world we visit. Pascal's vox, quiet at first, is booming with fury by the end of his remark. Pale grayness is strangling this peasant like a noose. His words are laden with fear for our well-being, and yet he fears his own even more. Where did Governor Viat go? The governor is safe, protected by walls and wardens. Please follow me. I will escort you to her personally. I still want to loot. I'll find my own way there. Stand aside. Lots of guns.
Curiosity sings in my veins.
Oh wait, there was something else there. What was that? That was a box. Imagine if the dagger was Revenant, it was Zenrei's spirit.
What
What if the dagger is assassin, but it's Revenant channeling the best assassin from Guild Wars 1? Other than Shiro. They would channel the chick in the blue leather from the cinematic. So Revenant gets a second assassin stance.
One and it's done.
The fountain is an expensive toy for the nobility. Pure water is currently bubbling from it, but additional pipes indicate the presence of separate siphons for sparkling wine and other beverages. Nika. Yeah, that one.
Oh, one step at a time.
Lore Imperium.
My pleasure.
The chapel is built out of luxurious materials, but the holy place looks half abandoned. You cannot smell any burnt incense in the air. You see no seals of cleansing on the doors, and you hear no prayers. No human voices or vox recordings. Medicae, 65%.
The Vizier.
Chains or ropes with shackles on the end can be seen in the water. Something white is also visible through the glimmer. A fragment of bone with marks made by sharp teeth. So people get, like, chained in the water. The wearer gains 5 fellowship in 10 commerce. If the wearer has dogmatic, their lore imperium will depend on fellowship instead of intelligence, and they gain 10 lore imperium. Do I have someone else with higher lore imperium? Oh, she's 115.
Hi Muck, new GW2 icon on Twitter.
Icons. Icons on Twitter. Yes, it's a knife. Revenants are getting another assassin stance. Incredible.
There will be
Thank
no
you, Eternal.
peace in my wake.
The ivy covering the archway gives off a delicate, heady fragrance, although you do not see any flowers. An otherworldly silence reigns under the arches of the gazebo. Perhaps a sound barrier generator is mounted in the dome.
The machine gun grants me insight.
The 6 new spec for Revenant, yeah.
They will see. Oh yes, they all will see.
Alright, let's see. Explore this area before we go into the next one, if possible.
Patience! My nerves are frayed!
Lore Imperium.
How intriguing.
Sealed containers marked with the familiar insignia of the Munitorum and additional seals of a forge world unknown to you. The crates contain high-grade weapons, likely made to order. To the mansion. Mike, I know you played this before, but remember this map updates after you speak with Viat, new NPCs pop up. Yep. Knife is for Ranger, their class which skin prey after a hunt, so maybe close range new debuff class. Poison enemy disables it. You can only main hand knife on Ranger if you have Soul Beast. It would be weird for them to make a new spec that doesn't give knife but relies on knife, which means you have to own Path of Fire. I don't think it's Ranger.
Curiosity sings in my veins.
Lady Cassia, is something troubling you?
Once again, you have read my mood like an open book, Master Van Calx. My eyes, they still ache from the kaleidoscope of colors I see around me.
Upon seeing you, the guard at the door lets out a frightened yelp and doubles over into a low bow. Your lordship, the most honorable Mukluk von Valancius. The governor is waiting for you in her office where she is protected by walls and guards. Would you prefer to meet her alone or with your entourage? My entourage will accompany me. Vicenza Janus Viatab Aromav Coronis is furiously swiping at a data slate, issuing commands into a gilded vox. Upon seeing you, she hurriedly puts away her devices, smooths her skirt, and drops into a deep curtsy. Your lordship, accept my abject apologies for the reprehensible stunt that spoiled the reception. Even in my worst nightmares, I could never have imagined. She flinches when she notices Kibbleda standing at your side. A death cultist. My, how unexpected. Must someone face severe punishment in the Emperor's name? Someone always does. As for who and when, the Undying One will tell. Kibla responds with dignity, seemingly oblivious to how sinister her words sound. Reprehensible stunt. I thought firing at moving targets was part of the ceremony. The woman standing next to Vistenza laughs delicately, but after a sharp sidelong look from the governor, she resumes her air of deferential sorrow. No, your lordship, I would never dare to deliberately endanger the heir of the illustrious von Valancia's dynasty. However, I cannot but express my joy that you took some pleasure in what happened. One of your wardens helped us in battle. A superb shot. Who was it? You must be referring to Irliet, our chief ally in the struggle against the rebels. I have turned a blind eye to her horrific mutations, given the undoubted advantages she brings. You see, Irliet comes from the local degenerate stock of the world and knows Janus like the back of her hand, so she has provided several leads as to where we can find bases and secret storehouses. Although I admit that at times I am tempted to send her away from the estate, her unnaturalness means that speaking with her always leaves me feeling uneasy. Such a gaunt, unfeminine figure, and so tall. Heinrich's expression shifts. Did I hear you correctly, Governor Viat? You have a mysterious mutant on your estate this very moment. One of the prodigious height, slight build, and with a supernatural talent for shooting? Did the arrival of this helper never give you pause for thought? Allow me to make myself clear. To refuse Irliet's help in our circumstances would have been incredibly rash. Yes, mutants are creatures abhorrent to the Emperor and they should be exterminated, but sometimes humanity makes exceptions for those who can serve the Imperium. I'm not concerned that your aide is a mutant. I am far more concerned that she may be nothing of the sort. Heinrich turns to you. Mukluk, I would like to meet this helper of Governor Viat's without delay, out of professional interest. If you wish to speak to Irliet, you will find her outside in the orangery, most likely by the gazebo. She prefers to keep her distance from others. Footfall Station is on verge of starvation. Can Janus supply the people there with provisions? Yes and no, your lordship. If the question is, can such an expansive and fertile world as this one feed a few thousand void rats? Of course it can. We lose more provisions to gnawing pests every cycle than those on Footfall could eat their entire lives. But can we ship said provisions to Footfall? Not a chance. Any cargo shuttle that leaves the surface will be a target for attack. The rebels will not hesitate to bring it down, sending flaming debris over the capital. Our silos could become targets for sabotage. Food could be poisoned or mined. The logistics of transporting supplies to Footfall will only be possible once the uprising has been completely crushed. It really is embarrassing to admit that even Vladame, may Ozzy take that man, is better at doing his job as Liege of Footfall than Lady Viat is at keeping her world in check. What's happening on the planet? Several months ago, uprisings broke out on Janus. I was not even notified at first. Griping worms are for wardens to worry about. Alas, I only learned of what was happening after the miscreants began targeting noble families. She shakes her head. Then it became apparent that what the Administratum's accounts had referred to as unrest were in fact organized attacks on infrastructure and society leaders. They've already brought 13 agri-complexes to a halt and now moved on to assassination attempts. My wardens are doggedly tracking down the rebels, but the leaders are slipping from our grasp yet again. Can Janus fulfill its foodstuff supplies under current conditions? I risk angering you, your lordship, but there is nothing compared to shamelessly deceiving you. Let us consider the situation dispassionately. Even the most talented logistics experts of the Administratum are unable to guarantee stable ties when shuttles are wary of landing at the spaceport, and the terrified peasants are indulging a dangerous minority within their ranks. Until the usual order of things is restored, any trade is nigh impossible. Considering what has occurred, your visit is a true blessing. You see, Janus does not have its own fleet. We could organize a planet-wide search if we had ships at our disposal. Ships like yours, your lordship. Perhaps you will find a way to support your subjects in their hour of need. I'm sure even approximate coordinates would be sufficient to have ground forces and ship crew work together to hunt down the enemy. I will get to the bottom of this. I'm sure the rebels will have something to say to the master of their world. She inclines her head. I'm immeasurably grateful for your assistance, your lordship. If any of those who attacked the estate had survived, then perhaps they could have been a valuable source of information. But you made an example of them for the rest of the foolish rabble. She glances at the Vox. Incidentally, I did overhear the wardens talking about some kind of stranger in the area. Besides that, we still do not know who let those reprobates into the estate. The person who did it might also know something. I, as well as my retinue, are at your service. My secretary is checking the staff as we speak and removing all traces of the attack from the estate. An esteemed Amigos who is responsible for our agronomic efforts on the planet is also here. He happened to be visiting this week to deliver his personnel report. And of course, there is my aide in the war against the rebels, Yearliette. I have no doubt she'd be delighted to share her knowledge of Janus with your lordship. Nod toward her companion. Who is this person standing next to you? One of my ladies in waiting, Amelia. Amelia performs secretarial duties and helps me to remain in constant contact with those families who are most responsible for the productivity and prosperity of Janus. I trust my advisors implicitly, and over time Amelia has become not merely a faithful companion, but almost my shadow. Losing her would be like losing my right hand. She laughs and gives Amelia an encouraging nod. Amelia drops it to a low curtsy. To bathe in the light of your greatness is a true honor, rogue trader. Tell me about Janus. Hey guys, is there a new teaser? There is, Barry. It's a knife! What is that? It's a knife! No! Vistenza leans forward. Janus is a remarkable world, both in terms of its vast potential and in terms of the work that was carried out to transform it into an agri-world. House Viat has ruled on Janus for many generations, and each new governor has without fail contributed to the planet's taming. This world was once a wild planet full of xenobeasts and utterly unsuitable for growing anything. To this day, despite our best efforts, Janus regularly rebels against us. Earthquakes, tsunamis, the emergence of new pests and weeds that invade the arable land. Sometimes I cannot help but think that this world is endowed with a consciousness, the consciousness of a capricious and stubborn child who likes to spoil everything we've achieved. What do you grow on, Janus? Mainly Helican flint corn and red turnip. Apart from that, in the southern hemisphere, we have set aside vast tracts of land for the Grox population. And of course, I cannot fail to mention the several thousand acres of tilled land given over to cultivating fermentable fruit, for personal use and limited export. I must take my leave.
What lies beyond?
Let's see. Wasn't the NPC the last boss of Wing 5 a gamble addict? Oh, Saul D'Alessio? Yeah. Saul D'Alessio wasn't Wing 5, he was Wing 4, and he's the guy in the Deimos encounter. And he was a gambling addict.
Advised, all acts of sacrilegious theft, encroachment on Adeptus Mechanicus privileges, and looting will be catalogued for justice enforcement purposes.
Is it theft when the goods in question do not belong to anyone? In a tug-of-war between cold traders and cogs, possession is 9/10 of the law.
There will be no peace in my wake.
Old sir. I remember this guy as a quest of some kind. I don't remember what it was. Hearing your footsteps, the elderly servant grabs an injector and stabs it into his arm. The area around the needle immediately starts turning black. You're too late, Viat's dogs. I am the master of my own fate. But when he gets a better look at you, the man drops the injector in astonishment and seems poised to prostrate himself on the floor before you. It's you! Your lordship! The God Emperor must have brought you here. I beg you, help the rebels and save Janus. He doubles up, hugging himself, and is racked by coughing that leaves his lips wet with blood. Forgive me, your lordship. If only I'd known it was you. My eyes deceived me. We have little time now, but I swear I'll tell you everything. Looking closely at the old man, the tech priest utters, nerve toxin. The inevitable cessation of vital functions is expected in no more than 60 seconds. Silent clicks emanated by the visor indicate an ongoing pict recording. Throne, damn you, old man. Where did you get this stuff? Poison capsules are the sort of a popular choice among desperate ashmags who are done with being tortured by mad fanatics or worse. Here on Janus, though, there's no antidote. Kibula picks up a drop of poison from the needle with her claw and carefully puts it on her tongue. She makes an approving sound. Strong toxin! We apply something similar to the lips of new initiates in the blood-spun web. Kills minor nerves and purges one's sensitivity to pain. For this layman, though, it is a certain and violent death. You helped the rebels gain access to the estate. Your lordship, could I have done otherwise? I could not. Not after everything I've seen in the palace. People being shipped in and tortured. Servants being driven mad. For a long time, I thought it was going on inside the estate, but when I was contacted by people on the outside, I learned that all of Janus